I waited all day for that. I think I missed. My game plan just changed dramatically. I got out of the stand this morning around 9 o'clock. My dad said he was going to come down to this other piece and do a deer drive with an old friend. So I was going to rush down here to try and catch him since I don't have my phone this morning. And instead of taking the exit that I normally take off the highway, I went straight and I was going to go grab a coffee. And I'm looking into that piece where we hunt, and there is a big buck laying down right next to the highway. It's a perfect wind to sneak up on him, and also like the weather right now, it's a perfect sneaking opportunity. So my dad's not here. I'm gonna go get this buck. I'm in a perfect position to sneak up on him. He's laying down right next to the road. I have the highway cover and the wind's in my favor, and I have like really, really wet conditions, so it's just absolutely perfect. So I'm super excited right now. Let's see if we can go kill this giant. He's big. All right, I'm probably about 150 yards from him. I kind of hurried up and came down in here quick, because I knew he was bedded down close to the highway. He can't hear me. But I kicked up some other deer on the way in. I don't think any of them were him, and I don't think he cares about him. He probably didn't even see him. I don't know if I should get closer. I really don't want to bump this deer. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I might just stay here and wait for him. I managed to get up probably 4 feet off the ground. I'd say I'm probably about 100 yards away from that deer bedded down. I can't see him. The only downfall is that he's bedded up against the highway. I need to catch my breath. The only downfall is that he's bedded up against the highway. I can't really shoot in that direction. But there's an evergreen tree right over there that he made 2 fresh scrapes this morning. So I'm hoping that once he gets up this afternoon, he's gonna go over to those scrapes again. And I'll have a good shot. I ate all my snacks this morning. I got a little bit of water. I still have no form of communication at all. I don't have my phone. This is exciting. Time to sit for a while. Alright, it's probably been about an hour. Got blood on my nose. It's been about an hour. It's starting to rain, but I have this little camel umbrella that I put up. Seems to be working pretty well. My leg is starting to hurt because I'm just crouched down on one leg in the crotch of this tree. The crotch of the tree is like this. I'm standing right here. My patience is gonna pay off today. I can feel it. A few more hours, he should be up on his feet. I was able to look on my GoPro actually to see what time it was, and it's 2:30. That means I've been sitting for 4.5 hours already. I'm a little cold, but about an hour ago there was a buzzard circling right over where that deer is laying down. I mean, I imagine he's still laying down over there. I mean, it's really thick in here. He's got to still be laying down. There's also a bunch of blue jays going crazy over there right near him, so he's got to be there. He's got to be there. Couple more hours. I'm freezing. I waited all day for that. I think I missed. I think I missed. I gotta go look. Oh no. Well, you wait 6 hours for a deer. He finally comes in, but he's downwind. I just had to turn like a quarter turn, and I would have had a shot when he was standing right there. But he winded me, and he started to skirt out of there, and I just took a mercy shot. Clean miss. Ugh. So as I was finishing up this video through the holidays at the end of December, I hunted again on December 26th, the day after Christmas, and had another bad outcome. So what better than to tack it on the end of this video where I missed that buck. What I really want you to pay attention to in this next hunt is how much this deer ducks my arrow. It was crazy. It was my fault, but this deer ducked the arrow big time, so pay attention to that. You know, I'm not scared to share all the bad outcomes through my hunts as well as all the good, so This video is all about me missing big bucks, so enjoy and don't make the mistakes I do. All right, it's December 26th, about 1:15 in the afternoon, day after Christmas. I'm going to some private land tonight. I call this stand my hunting hole stand. I shot a lot of nice bucks out of this one stand over the years. I hit it hard all rut this year, chasing a couple big bucks that I had on camera in this piece all year. Long story short, the biggest buck that I had on camera here disappeared late October, right around Halloween. I think he got hit by a car because rumors spread fast in this town and somebody hit a really big deer about a mile up the road, cut his head off. I never saw a picture of what deer it was, but they said it was a big deer, and it was a big body deer on the side of the road with no head. So I think that was him, unfortunately, but the whole rut I hunted for him and another big buck I had on camera pretty much in this stand all November. So I haven't been back here since last weekend. I did see a buck early in the morning and he winded me. I don't know how, because the wind was going right towards me and he was out in front of me. But anyway, right at first light I had a buck come in and smell me, I think, or think something was there, and he blew and took off. And then when it got light enough, I saw that there was a gigantic scrape that was freshened up right behind me. That was probably from that buck that morning or the night before. And he just knew something was there. It was crunchy going in, but I'm here in this same spot nice and early today. It's almost 1:30 probably. My dad told me that after this recent windstorm, there was a couple downed trees in the path heading out to this stand. So hopefully I can navigate my way around them and get in there nice and quiet. I have plenty of time. I'm gonna go slow, but I'm after a deer tonight, buck or doe. I'm still deerless here. It's December 26th. I have not shot a deer. I've passed up a ton of deer this year, and it's been a tough season, but see if I can get something down the ground tonight, and we'll see what happens. Walked in nice and quiet. I didn't jump anything. That's a good sign. It's 1:58. I just got set up. I didn't jump anything in the gauntlet. The laurel gauntlet. I gotta walk by a half a mile through just laurel. I cut a path. It's just a long laurel tunnel. But I got through that, didn't jump any deer. It's really crunchy getting in here this afternoon. I'm all set up now. I'm gonna be quiet. Hopefully we get a deer coming in. Feels like it's gonna be a good night. Oh, nice buck, nice buck. watch the footage back. It sounded good. The shot sounded good, but I think it's a little high. It was a pass-through. It was a complete pass-through. That smaller buck just walked right towards where that other deer went to. It sounded good. The shot sounded good, but I just watched the footage back. And I hit him high, but I'm up high, so it could have angled down into the vitals, maybe top of the lungs. The arrow went completely through him, and it kind of just fell out of him as he was running that way. Oh my God. Oh, I need to call my dad. I just shot a nice buck.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I hit him a little high, but it sounded really good. But since I'm up high, I think I want to stay positive, but I did hit him a little bit high.
Yeah, but if you're up in a stand, maybe the arrow got down and got part of the opposite lung or something.
I know.
How did he react?
He kicked and he kind of bounded off, and then he got to a point and he started like just walking again, and there was a second deer behind him, and it was like a spike horn, and he walked right towards where that deer went to. I didn't hear the other deer run or anything, but he got to a certain point and he stopped, and I lost sight of him. He could just be laying down over on the other side of that laurel patch. He's right out front, I think.
Well, I would give him some time.
Yup.
I'm just getting ready to have something to eat, and I'll put some clothes on, and I'll park over by that pump house. Because that's the easiest place to get him out, right?
Yeah,
he went back towards.
He went towards the pump house, but I don't know. I want to give him maybe 45 minutes and get down and look for blood and look at my arrow at least.
Yeah, because it's only 3:15, so there's at least another hour of light.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give it 45 minutes. Just sit tight. The first thing they want to do is bed down, and that's when they're going to bleed out. If you bump them again, they might make it harder. I mean, at least we don't have rain coming. It's dry, so.
All right, I'm going to sit here for another 40 minutes, and I'll get down and look at my arrow at least.
Okay, cool.
All right, see ya.
Yep.
Oh, I'm shaking bad. I just found my first spot of good blood. My dad and Dan should be here any second. They just called me and said they parked and they're coming up the hill here. This blood has gotten me feel a little bit better. I was starting to get worried that there was no blood, but well, I think last time I checked in was when I was looking at my arrow. And that didn't look very good. There's a lot of meat on it, a lot of hair, not a ton of blood on it. No blood at the impact zone where I shot the deer. And then I found my first good blood, probably 50 yards, where he went to. And me, Dan, and my dad scoured for a little while in the dark and found a couple specks here and there, and just not what you want to see after you shoot a deer. A lot of people know the same feeling I'm feeling right now. We decided to just back out, and I'm gonna go back in the morning and try and grid search and see if I can come up with him. I think the only thing I can hope for now is that I clipped the top of one of his lungs, and the cavity of the deer is filling up with blood, and he's gonna die in his bed. But it sucks, but that's my only option. Well, it's the next morning already. I didn't do much filming looking for blood last night. I found that the most blood I found is what you saw, probably about 50 yards from where the arrow was. The deer stopped, and that was the most blood I found. A couple more specks after that, but really close by. Me, Dan, and my dad probably tracked for about 75 yards and then decided to call it quits and come back in the morning. So I'm by myself. I'm gonna go back to where that blood was and see if I can see any more in the daylight. Not ideal, but I got to give it my best shot to look for more blood and maybe do some grid searching. So I'll check back in once I get back to where that blood was and see where I'm going to go from there. So try to keep my spirits high. The shot looked super high on the computer, and that deer ducked big time. He probably ducked 10 inches. So last night, this is kind of the last good blood that we found. Just about 50 yards that way is where I shot the deer, so I think right at this mark is the last blood right here. Right here. There. He made his way down that way, I think. So that's all she wrote. That's the last speck of blood that I could find. From what I can tell, deer usually want to run downhill when they're wounded. That's certainly the direction that the deer is headed. There's the blood right there. And it probably ran down there, but I just can't find any blood. I just grid searched in all 3 directions for the last hour and a half. I think that deer lived. I just hit him way too high. And that's how it goes. You can definitely tell that that deer ducked big time. I should have been aiming just a little bit lower. I was just aiming for center, the shoulder, the lung area. And that deer ducked probably a good 6 to 10 inches. It's really hard to tell, but I sent the video to a couple friends and they just told me the same thing, that deer ducked big time. I thought he was just a little bit closer. I thought he was probably more towards 30 yards, but he ended up being more about 23, 25 yards. What a bummer, but that's how it goes, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. So I think this deer survived that, and hopefully he doesn't get an infection and he'll survive until next year. So peace out, shoot straight, keep your head up, and we'll see you next time.